guys like orange juice?
What's up, trail junkies? Today we're talking about Never Hike Alone, a Friday the 13th fan film. Since it's October now and we're allowed to get all spooky wooky, I thought it would be fun to go through some Friday the 13th fan films, especially ones that I've never seen before, and review those and maybe put those out there for some people to watch around the Halloween time, because I think these are pretty fun. So Never Hike Alone is directed by Vincent DiSanti. It stars Drew Lightly as Kyle McClone and Vincent DiSanti as Jason Voorhees. Yes, the director actually plays Jason Voorhees, and it's pretty dope. He might be my favorite Jason Voorhees, and some of you might think that is blasphemy. Watch this fan film. I haven't watched the second one yet. I'm going to next. But just from this fan film, this Jason is badass. This Jason is and he's just fun to watch on screen. I smiled every time Jason popped up. Like, just by the way, just the way they filmed him, and the music cues, and just his look, his clothing, the makeup, everything was so well done that it fits so well in the other, with the other movies, especially like production design wise and even quality of the film, because most of the other Friday the 13th movies kind of look like fan films. They don't look the best. So this being a fan film, not to knock this movie looks great, but the bits of it that don't look that great easily fit right into the Friday the 13th franchise. So it got points right off the bat for me for the title card. I'm a big into movie title cards, especially horror ones, because I feel like you could just get so fun with them, and a lot of them are just plain and stupid. And then its transition into the movie from the title card was really fun too, so that right off the bat got a lot of points for me. So story-wise, it's about a hiker who is like a travel vlogger, and he's going through these trails. He ends up finding a trail that's not on the guide, and he's vlogging his way through that. It ends up being Camp Crystal Lake, obviously. And he kind of stumbles his way into Camp Crystal Lake and then ends up having to run away from Jason Voorhees, and that's basically the story. But some things that I liked about it, I saw some boobies, and now I'm just reading my notes. That sounds like it's like I get what that sounds like. But I'm just reading my notes, and that just happens to be the thing I have to read, okay? But I saw boobies in this. He had a Playboy magazine, and it just felt fun. It felt like in the Friday the 13th movies, some shit like that would happen. I'm not going to show you the boobies because this is YouTube. And yes, you can watch this fan film on YouTube for yourself. And I saw the boobies there on YouTube, but I can't put it in my video. I know it's weird. I'm sorry. But we even get he's vlogging. He's inside one of the cabins. He starts a fire. He's saying that his brother used to tell him the stories of Jason Voorhees and Pamela Voorhees, and it would scare the shit out of him, but it's not real. But you get the fun little bit of them telling you stories of the previous movies and whatnot.
Blind, afraid, no ghost.
The movie is 30 years later after, I'm assuming, the first movie. It was a little unclear to me, but I think the first movie. When he was opening that door to nowhere, that whole big scene, I thought right there Jason was going to come. It surprised the shit out of me when he showed up later, and then he ends up throwing him out the door to nowhere, but that was pretty cool. That was a really fun scene. Great. There was so many great reveals of Jason in this. That was one of them. Then he's just watching him as he's crawling away. We also got a superhero landing with Jason, straight to almost crotch cut. It just, every time he swung, it was so fucking brutal in this. We also got a good old-fashioned punch Jason in the face and your hand hurts. I love those little bits. And he also, it reminded me a little Jason Takes Manhattan and some others where people try to fight Jason. I thought Jason, when he was crawling away from him for a bit, and then Jason grabs his foot, I thought it was a little bit of a stretch, honestly, there, that Jason didn't kill him. There's a couple times in this that I was like, all right, that he has to get away so we can get to this and this, but that was a bit of a stretch. I felt like you could have wrote something different there. I did like, though, when he's bandaging himself after being hurt and crawling away and all that. He bandages his leg and then his arm later in the movie. But first, it just reminded me of Last of Us, and it might be because I'm playing it a lot because the show's coming out. But I don't know, it just felt like Last of Us vibes right there. We get a good old-fashioned Jason face reveal after they're having their, second or third showdown. I'm not really sure. And he punches Jason in the face or hits him with a rock, and his mask goes flying, and we get it's not the best shot of Jason's face we've gotten in these movies, but it was a pretty good one. For me, I really like every time we get a Jason face reveal, because they always look so different movie to movie. So I always just kind of, ooh, what's this movie Jason look like? It's always a fun thing to wait and see which Jason we're going to get, you know? In their almost final showdown, Kyle and Jason stab each other a la Freddy versus Jason. I really like that little nod, and they both kind of fell down the same ways. And then obviously Jason was not dead and comes back after him. But we get a really cool, this was classic Friday the 13th. He gets away to a lake. I really liked how there was a plot throughout the whole movie where he kept finding these little, like, crime scene tags, and he gets away where he thinks he's kind of away, and he ends up finding another crime scene tag, and then fucking Jason jumps out of the water, lands, and starts crushing his head, and then it was just a dream. That was just really sweet. He ends up being in an ambulance with these people. They're saving his life. And then all of a sudden he has these nightmares of Jason because he's been cursed by him. So, like, you know, like in Tommy Jarvis, he's being haunted by it. And it was done very well. Like, it's flashing red. All of a sudden he's out of the ambulance but still strapped to the little thingy at the table. I forget what it's called. But it's in the floor, so it's flashing red. It's done really, really cool. And then boom, he's back in the ambulance and they're helping him. Then fucking, you know, one of the girls is like, oh, it's based on what he's saying. I think there's someone else out there. And Tommy Jarvis has to call it in. He ends up getting attacked. And then miraculously, he ends up surviving and just gets the other two completely killed and saves our main hero. And they drive off as Jason just walks down the street after them. And that's the end of Never Hike Alone. But so overall, the acting was, you know, the one person in the movie. I guess two if you count Jason. You know, he does. I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, he was really good. He was honestly a better actor. But anyways, the acting in this was good. It wasn't great. But what really sold it was the production design and like their effects and everything. Like there was a part. Like watch this part. See how he's bandaging such a brutal looking leg right here. But then watch how he walks into this room. There's just things like that where the actor wasn't that great, but everything else kind of sold it more, so it didn't really matter, you know? Well, I think that's going to do it, Trail Junkies. This was pretty fun. I'm definitely going to do Never Hike in the Snow after this. That'll probably come out next week or so. And then I have no clue what other fan films I'll be doing after this. So if anybody has any suggestions, I only want to do fan films. So suggest me some fan films and we'll keep doing this in October. And then maybe we can continue a little bit to November if you suggest some cool ones. Yeah, that's going to be it. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you did not enjoy the video, I am really sorry, you know. You watched it this far and you still aren't liking it. I really apologize. I really apologize for that. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. Comment down below what's your favorite in the Friday the 13th franchise, and I'll see you guys next week for Never Hike in the Snow.